Ms. Amy Fields, glad that you're here, pinch hitting for Mike.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to excuse those not
Absent.
absent. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, aye? Opposed? Thank you. Please turn off your cell phones if you have them. And if you come to speak, please come to the podium and speak into the microphone. If you're here for the rezoning case of I-1 to I-2 to allow for a beverage bottling business at 4901 Crystal Hill Road, that has been postponed, so it will not be heard today. You have been under administrative. Mr. Spencer, would you give us a quick version of the memo that was sent out on the sidewalk waivers?
You remember you had asked us to send a letter out, to all those, giving them a one-time warning. So we sent it out, then that started creating questions. Everybody started asking. And then so we took some of those questions and went to legal and asked the question to legal. And then they put the answer into that memo that you all got. But so for the most part, under ordinance, Planning Commission does not have the authority to waive sidewalks. So it should be going to City Council with a vote of 5 of them to waive the sidewalks. And so at the moment, that is the way we're handling it, is that they're going to go to that. So any that's on the agenda now, we called them last week or the same day we mailed that out and informed them of the process. So they're all aware of what they're doing, and some of them have already contacted the alderman to get a sponsor.
Good. And again, that is the way that we've been handling it all along.
Yeah, since 2000. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you. You have been submitted a copy of the minutes of our previous meetings. Are there any additions or corrections? Motion made and seconded to be approved as submitted. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. We'll move right into our development review portion of our meeting. Mr. Don Chambers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Replat of a residential lot, 2003 Gribble Street. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 8 in subsections, and Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from the commissioners? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
The committee met and considered item SD 2019-33 Lakewood Gardens Lot 1, site plan review of townhomes located at 4700 Randolph Road. And before reporting on what the Development Review Committee did, I would like to ask staff to provide a brief explanation, description of the project, because I think some of the commissioners have questions. Lakewood Gardens.
Probably our 5th or 6th time reviewing it, so it's over the years, it's went from single family to patio homes. So right now they're townhomes, and so way back at the beginning there was a road associated, so that road's been gone. So right now they're direct access off existing roads. I'm trying to think of what else has changed over the times.
Their access would be where?
Off of Randolph and Lansing. So there used to be a road that went down through the back, and so that's gone now. So it will be 6, I think they're groups of 3 townhomes with the parking in the middle. So little pods of townhomes.
And give me the definition of a townhome.
Usually 2 to 3 story, maybe parking underneath on the first floor, sharing a wall.
Okay, so they'd be like downtown in Argenta.
Like City Grove.
Do what?
Yeah.
Like City Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But they would not be apartments. They would be actually like condos.
We don't have anything anywhere in the book that says how someone uses their building. So if someone wants to rent it, that's up to them. But we don't have any way to ask. I mean, we're not supposed to ask that question. So we're reviewing someone's home. And it doesn't matter if they own the home or rent it, so, I mean, just like if you want to rent your house right now, you could buy another house and rent your house out right now.
Well, I guess my question is the developer, is the intention is for someone to buy them or rent them? Is the developer
They're out here,
here?
yeah.
Yes,
Can he come up?
give us your name, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Bear Davidson with Half Plus Marler Engineering, and I'm here with Howard Wickern, who's with General Properties, the property owner. So our intent for this property would be to rent these units to individuals or families, but there would be a requirement for 62 and above as far as an age requirement. So for seniors to rent these units.
But they're gonna be two-story for seniors.
No, sir, they're not two-story. They're single-story with a garage on the same story as the living quarters.
Okay, so would they be something like on Ridge Road Hill,
I'm not familiar with those, sir.
across the street from Ridge Road Junior High?
I know where the junior high is, but I guess I've not paid attention to those
Where
units.
the old football field, you're from North Ark, aren't you? No? No?
Not familiar with that one either.
Here's,
We do have some,
not, they're for age 62 and above. They're subsidized, but, yeah, are these gonna be subsidized at any?
no.
Okay. My concern is, and I live in Lakewood, is on Randolph, I didn't have any problem with the single family. And I really don't have any problem with the townhomes, but now that you said they're gonna be rented out. I have a major problem that we're gonna have rental units across the street in two areas, basically in three areas, except for, to back up from the nursing home, that we're gonna have rental units there. Instead of single-family homes, which I was excited about that. And the residents, when they came the first time, they were upset about the single-family homes because they were gonna lose the woods, which y'all own the land, so that's just what it is. So do they have to have a different zoning for this than residential?
It's zoned correctly right now for this.
Is zoned-
Yep. And it's always been zoned correctly for what they're wanting to do. It's always been, they've changed the type of building.
Buildings on it?
So the backwoods is still staying, right?
Right, so just
So there's lots being kept.
Okay, and did we notify the residents?
It's, what they're doing is permitted
It's
by right.
permitted?
So there's
So-
no
So
no
why
reason.
why are they here then?
Site plan review.
It's just a review?
Site plan review, yeah, and
Okay, but what are we're just reviewing the site, we're not reviewing
all.
the,
The use.
The
The use
units.
is not part of it, just the site plan.
can you tell me what the units are gonna look like?
I can tell you the type of facades I guess we would use, but a craftsman style unit that fits with the era of the neighborhood that we're building in, with decorative lighting, concrete drives.
So I guess my question is, we have the apartments that are across the street on North Hills, which, you know, they tried to make them look good, but they still look horrible. And so the question is this gonna look like the neighborhood, or is this gonna look like we just stuck something on the property and doesn't really go with a residential neighborhood?
I just know we've spent a lot of time to this point with the architect working towards some renderings that fit well with the neighborhood. So
What is going to be your base rental rate on these units?
These are very luxury type of apartments that we're gonna have, and we're renting for $2,400 to $2,900
A month.
a month. Yes, sir.
Well, that's the word I was looking for, by the way, is luxury. Okay, all right, thank you.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes, Mr. White, there's not a lot of difference if they were building them as condominiums and then sold them all, and then the individual buyers just turned around and said, well, I've got this as an investment, I'm gonna rent it. So, yeah, okay. Right. Sounds to me like they're trying to blend with the neighborhood.
No, they are, they answered my questions, good, I'm okay now.
To continue,
But they don't have to send anything out to any of the neighbors?
Yep, it's permitted by right, so.
Okay.
That base rental rate will provide a real buffer for what most of your concept of apartments will be. Any other comments?
so I need to continue with the report.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, the committee met, considered the item, and the applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 11 in subsections, and with that, the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
I have one more question.
Mr. White?
It made a comment in here that, about a sign. Are y'all putting a sign up, or can we eliminate the sign?
You mean no, telling everybody what it is or something?
I'm talking about a permanent sign.
Uh,
Are we gonna put a permanent sign up, or is it
It
just,
would be Lakewood Gardens, but it'd be right there where the entrance is. It's not anything major.
okay?
But it will be a monument-style sign.
Right,
will
It'd
it
be a
not?
monument sign, yes. Incidentally, I would say
It has
that
to,
we have not advertised, we have not said anything. We have 7 of the 17 letters of intent for people who know what the rent is and everything.
just that they're doing one. And where would you put this sign?
Well,
It wouldn't be on Randolph, it would be on one of the other 2 streets, or would it be on Randolph?
I think it would be on Randolph.
Okay.
Mr. White, did you hear what the gentleman said, that they've already have commitments on 7 of the 17 units?
Yeah, but that still means there's gonna be a sign across the street, and would you want a sign across the street from your house? No.
No monument in Batesville, not a problem.
Any other comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Next item is SD 2019-34 Calvary Addition, Lot 1, site plan review of a school expansion located at 1401 Calvary Road. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 10 in subsections, and Bill Review Committee recommends approval.
Motion made and seconded. This application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? Mr. White?
Which school is this?
Mr. Spencer?
They're adding a school to the Pentecostal church there on the interstate.
Okay.
Or they're adding a school addition. The school's already there, they're adding an
Yeah,
addition to
I
it.
was just making sure.
Ms. Belasco?
That was my question. Is it a new structure or
There's a new structure to the Memphis
but
side
this
of the
is not
building.
a new structure that's gonna go back more up that hill or more?
It's getting longer.
Okay,
Vandy, it
It's
takes
on the
takes
interstate.
up the east part, the
okay.
parking lot immediately to the east. Part of that parking lot.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Please make a note that I did not have any comments on this application.
That concludes the Development Committee's report, Mr. Chairman.
We got one more.
You've got item D.
Oh, I'm sorry, it did. Had it turned to it and forgot all about it. Item D is SD 2019-35 Butler Gardens, Lot 3R and 4R, replat of a residential lot located on Russell Road. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 6 in subsections, and the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Motion made and seconded. This application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from the commissioners? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Public hearing was postponed. Next order, anyone that would like to have a public comment at this time? Mr. White?
On the apartments that are on North Hills, on top of the hill, the issue, and I don't know if this is something, but I've talked to the engineer, but not about this, but it seems like we have a water issue there, and they've laid all these big pipes on the side of it that look at the interstate. But they hadn't covered them up with dirt or anything. Do you know what they're gonna do?
We'd have to have Chris call you back on that, or I'm not
Where's
sure.
that?
It's, those apartments that are on North Hills, the new ones.
Yeah.
That are gonna come out. They had such a water issue with the bank going off, that they've laid a bunch of just, big black plastic pipes, you know, I mean, like 6 or 11, but they didn't cover them up and it looks horrible. So I'm just curious if there was any.
They may be temporary pipes. They probably built a little dam to control the water, and then the water goes in the pipe and down the hill rather than washing down the hill.
No, the land washed away and they thought we better put something in there, but what are we gonna do? That's
Was
what
the
they
pipe buried or? was it
No,
on
the
top?
pipe is on top of the ground. It looks horrible. I was just curious if,
It'll probably be for drainage purposes.
no, it's for drainage purposes, cause that hillside was washing away. I was just curious if there was,
I'd have to have Chris get back with you on that.
that's fine, yeah. He and I talk weekly.
Any other comments?
Move for adjournment.
Motion made and seconded, we adjourn, all in favor, aye? Thank you.